we sack people in Ghana as a culture is not healthy. A lot of people will tell you that I have rarely agreed with Kyei-Mensah-Bonsu. We disagree on a lot of things. But I believe that in terms of party loyalty, he's been a very loyal member of the party, loyal minority and majority leader. So even if there was a need to change him, the manner that it occurred was inappropriate. The second thing is that from the interest of the party, I think we shot ourselves in the foot. Now there are about 40 incumbent MPs who either chose not to run or were defeated in the primaries. These attempt to quote-unquote move them aside is really self-harming because they are still in a parliament that is almost evenly divided. So if you do these things and they do not have commitment to the government's agenda, the rest of the way will be very difficult because people can miss votes deliberately or otherwise. So I don't think this is a good idea. Now, let me go to the principles of it. I think that the 2024 standing orders of parliament actually are an advance on democracy. I think that a parliamentary caucus that is beholden to the party, which in quotes is actually the president, because he calls the shots there, is not independent enough. I think that the biggest weakness of our current constitution is the lack of independence of parliament and the weakness of parliament. And the Japan deal that we just discussed is a classic illustration of that. So I think that we need to encourage parliamentary caucuses that develop its own leadership and strength and principles independent of their parties and are accountable directly to the public. I mean, in US here, it is almost unheard of for the president or somebody outside of the House of Representatives or the Senate to tell them who their leader should be. And that should never be the case. So I think that the NPP has made a mistake. The new 2024 rules are good, and they are another indication of the silent Herculean work that Speaker Babin has done. Unfortunately, he himself seemed to be contradicting some of the rules that they put in place. But I think the rules are excellent. We should encourage Parliament to follow them, to develop independence, and to stand aside from their party, and particularly from the executive when it is doing things that are not in the public interest. I think the NPP has made a mistake, and as the months evolve towards the election, they will live to regret this decision that was made. And I think that Kyei-Mensah-Bonsu deserves better.
But you're saying the speaker, also his comments, his ruling of sorts, that suggested that even though the new standing order says majority leader means a member of parliament designated by the majority caucus as their leader in the House, which is in sharp contrast to the old, which said designated by the party. So we woke up one morning and the NDC General Secretary wrote a letter that simply said, this is our new group. You like it or not, that's what you take. You're saying the speaker may not also have been helpful in his ruling by suggesting that even though the standing orders say that the designation must be by the caucus, they must consult the party. You're saying that is not progressive. But the people who are there as MPs are sponsored by the parties. You have a constitution that says if you cross carpet, you lose your MPship.
Well, in fairness, though, consult does not mean obey the party. So consult just means having a conversation with the party. You know, you can listen to the party, can say we think this is the best person, but in the end, the decision must be by the caucus. Having said that, yes, the parliamentarians stand on the ticket of the party, but they also are voted for directly by a constituent. And now that you say that, you remember how many NPP MPs were solidly for Bawumia, and look at how many of them lost. It means that there is a divergence in the opinion of the parliamentary group compared to the people on the ground. And so parliamentarians, if they want to stay long, must listen to the people. I actually had a relationship with a United States senator here who at that time has served for 22 years. And he said, you know, senators don't stay for 24 and 30 years by following a president. You know, they follow their principles and they follow what the public says. So what happened in the NPP primary must inform, you know, parliamentarians and aspiring parliamentarians that at the end of the day, the best way to preserve your position is to listen to the people. And if they were listening to the people, they would have stopped the Ejapa deal. If they were listening to the people, they would have insisted on kind of living instead of caving when the president kicked back. So we should not be afraid of democracy. We need to deepen our democracy, and one of the ways of doing that is to enhance the independence of parliament. I think, respectfully, I admire the speaker a lot, but he was a little errant in his